I'm not gonna stop. Just to put it out there, I'm hungry.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. I'm Erica and I am a doctoral student studying psychology at North Carolina State University. Today I am joined by a special guest. This is my fiance Corey. He is a second-year MBA student at George Washington University, and today we're going to do kind of a mukbang here and talk and eat about some lessons that we are learning as Black graduate students. But before we get into those lessons, Corey's going to tell you about where this food is from. We are in New York right now, so he knows more about this than me.
The food here is from a place called Mama's. This is a traditional Italian place. And it's just a place that me and my brother used to go to as kids. And, you know, the pizza is phenomenal. The pasta is out of this world. And, you know, it's just something that I love to get anytime I come home. So
we're going to share 4 lessons, 2 from me and 2 from him. And yeah, so what I have mushroom, pizza, house salad, bread, and he can tell you about what the pasta is.
It's just simple rigatoni, alla vodka. And there are also garlic knots here.
Let's first bite it. Okay, so the first lesson that I learned was learn how to advocate for yourself. So the grad school experience can definitely look different from person to person. There's no typical experience. And so on your journey, you may encounter people who will tell you what your journey needs to look like and who you are. And especially being a Black graduate student, the microaggressions are at an all-time high, sometimes in different spaces. And so when people would try and tell me who I am or what I need to do, that's really not my best fit, because at this point in my journey, I'm learning who I am, but I also know who I am. And so I wanted to learn how to advocate myself without having that stereotype of that I was just angry or I'm hard to work with. And so learning how to advocate for myself with making sure that I am communicating what I need and what's important to me, and how to work with others and communicate with others and allow people to learn about me, with me, and grow with me is really important, because wherever you go to grad school, you're going to be there for some time. And so that's really important, is to learn how to advocate for yourself.
Definitely very important. I'm very outspoken, so to say. So that's something that I learned through my many years of schooling. But the next thing that I'm going to talk about is just, you know, finding a community within your own community. Especially being a Black graduate student, it's extremely important to be able to essentially know your fit as a community and as a student, as well as an individual on campus. Now, I say that because traditionally I went to an HBCU for undergrad, small Virginia Union University, amazing, I loved it. And now I'm at a really big PWI, George Washington University, where I'm getting my MBA right now. And it's definitely important to find people that are associated with what you associate with as well. I'm a member of the Black Graduate Student Association, at the VP of Black MBA within our entire campus. And, you know, just being a part of those communities and really understanding that, you know, there are other people like you that value the same things that you value and are able to, you know, put themselves out there in a way that everybody can understand, and knowing that, you know, you're not alone. You know, that's one of the major things, because it's easy to get lost, and, you know, it's always important to have somebody that can kind of lead you back on that path, or keep you in check when things are getting a little shaky, or just check on you and know that, you know, they may be going through something similar, and, you know, they just have your back. So I think that's something that is very important, just finding a community within your community.
I definitely agree. On In my experience, I joined NAS, which is the National Association for School Psychologists, and within that they have different subcommittees. So I joined the African American subcommittee and became student leader of that, and so I was able to kind of find my community within a community. And also social media. Social media has been a great way for me to connect with different graduate students who may experience the same things that I'm experiencing or interested in the same things that I'm researching. And so social media is huge, especially like on Twitter and Instagram and here on YouTube too. And so my next lesson, and this is one that's also important, is to remember your why and give yourself grace. Sometimes you will experience significant challenges that will question why you wanted to do this anyway. And it's really important for you to remember when it gets tough, your why and your end goal and why you decided to start this, and to give yourself grace in that, because I can remember so many times where I would really be struggling with something academically or anything professionally, and I would have a classmate or someone else, like a colleague, and it would be easy for them. And I would just ask like myself, why is it so hard for me to do this? And I had to remember, first of all, I'm still a student and I'm still learning. And I don't have to be hard on myself, because this is my experience, this is my journey, this is me experiencing grad school. And so to give yourself grace, because you don't want to kind of put these expectations or compare yourself when it's your journey anyway. So just give yourself grace and remember why you're doing it, and keep that close to heart, because sometimes it will be challenging. And so that kind of helped me to keep going and really become even more passionate about like why I wanted to do what I want to do. So yeah.
Following up on that, I think the next major tip that I would recommend for everybody would be stepping out of your comfort zone and enjoying that uncomfortability, because it's easy to get locked in the pathways that you're used to, and it's easy to say, you know what, I'm not going to do this because something else has always worked for me. And that may be selling yourself short, because you may not be achieving an opportunity that you may have been able to get exposure to if you were stepped out and really put your faith into something new. Traditionally, since Virginia Union wasn't as big of a school, I was very in tune with all of my professors. I knew pretty much every student there. And, I really was just able to be myself 100% of the time, and everybody knew the authentic me. Whereas in this school here, it's so many people, so many students, so many faculty, so many staff. Not everybody knows your authentic you. They only know the you that you portray through however it is that you look and stuff like that. And being able to really go out there, put your best foot forward, go to an activity that you normally want to go to a meeting that you normally want to go to, even if it's going by yourself. A lot of people aren't comfortable with that, and just basking in that uncomfort, because at the end of the day, even though it may be uncomfortable, it is an experience, and if you do it more and more, it'll become something that is a lot easier for you to do in the long run. So I think stepping out of your comfort zone and being comfortable with that uncomfortability is something that will go leaps and bounds compared to if you hadn't taken that opportunity.
So we wanted to give 4 key lessons. I gave 2 and he gave 2, but before we go, I just thought about one really important lesson that we both have learned, and that is you belong where you are. You deserve to be there. Sometimes you may get different opportunities, or even yourself, you may feel like you're in a space where you feel like you don't deserve to be there, or someone might tell you you're only here because of X, Y, and Z. And we know as Black graduate students what X, Y, and Z is. Some people will say that we only got something because that we're Black, and not because of our accolades, and not because of how skillful we are. And so a really important one is that to remember that you deserve to be there. If you enjoyed this video, those were 4 lessons with one key bonus of lessons that we're learning as Black graduate students. We're still learning. Those are just 4 things, and maybe we'll do a part 2 when Corey graduates in May. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next week. Bye.
See ya.